Alright, so the BMW XM is coming out sometime soon, and I kind of just want to talk about why it is so ugly. Kind of also wanted to compare it to this, but kind of just jump right into it. I think the main thing that it is struggling with is line flow and kind of the connectedness of the lines. Kind of starting with this main line, it kind of catches my eye. It doesn't really go into anything. This one kind of doesn't connect with anything either, nor does this one. This kind of gets a pass because it's like on the side, but still doesn't connect. And then this line right here doesn't even hit this corner on the grill, which I think like most cars should do. That kind of looks awkward. And then I think this too, where this comes up like that, should be more so like, if I erase this, I think it should be more so like a straight line coming from here, cutting through here like this. I think these two bumps here kind of makes it look very awkward. Another thing, looking at this, all this black part here, if I circle all of this whole part right here, I think doesn't look very BMW at all, especially on an SUV. I think this looks pretty unlike BMW, and I think it looks more so just like function over any type of style, which I think BMW should be known for. They kind of come in to compare it to this car. I think they're kind of similar. I don't really like the X7 too much either. I think it kind of has similar parts kind of here with this little chamfer right here that they kind of both have. But I think this is definitely done a lot better, especially with all of this body color stuff here as opposed to this, all this black that you have here. I think neither one really looks all that great in the front, but obviously the XM just looks pretty terrible. I kind of want to compare it to a couple of other cars. This car I think looks pretty good. One of my favorite design cars. Kind of to compare the line flow in the front. You kind of see this line right here. Oops. This line right here kind of flows right into this corner of this grill. I think it looks pretty good. The same with this line that goes right into the top here, kind of making a good shape right here, kind of what you'll want to see. That's the first thing I kind of want to point out. Also, too, another line here, how this kind of connects and comes kind of right up into this corner of the grill, which also, like, everything kind of has a connection point and something that it kind of wants to reach once it leaves from its little cubby. Same with here. I kind of like this line kind of lives in here and then makes this little shape here. Like, you don't really have anything up here that's kind of similar to that. I think that's pretty much it for this car. I kind of want to talk about this as well. If you used to look at this Mercedes, it kind of has a similar kind of philosophy. This kind of has more rounded lines, but I like how this line, it kind of seems like it goes all the way around and then boom, right under the grill, and it kind of molds with the same shape as the grill. And I think that kind of connects everything in the front. You don't really have that same design in the new BMWs. Also, again, with this headlight line right here, how it goes right into the corner of the grill and starts like that. I think that looks pretty good. And again, not something that you have in the BMWs, which I think is a shame because BMWs are supposed to be pretty well designed cars and pretty much designed. It should be the forefront of creating a BMW. So kind of disappointed, and think it should be a lot better, especially in this front end. So moving to the side, it definitely does not get any better. At least for the XM. The X7 I think looks kind of good from the side. But focusing on the XM, I think the main thing that's kind of throwing me off is this line here. And it kind of goes all the way around. I think what's really messing me up about this line is the fact that it's not parallel with this line. So let me try to make a cleaner line. This right here, and it goes up like that. Then you have this one here, and then when it goes up, they kind of get a lot closer up here, and then it just molds into this, which I don't think looks good at all. But as you can see, it's a lot more space between these two lines here versus what it is here. And I think like get these lines out of the way. I think that is it just looks weird, and I think that should not be how you would design a car. And I don't understand who designed this, but it kind of looks like a 8-year-old designed this trying to make a Hot Wheel. In my opinion, I think it's definitely lacking the elegance that a BMW should have, and it seems like BMW's kind of all over the place with their car design. Also, don't really like why this here is black. It's like they're trying to make a fake sports SUV, but then you give it this gloss black at the bottom. I feel like at least over the wheels should be body color, because otherwise, I think only time you really want to have black wheel arches like this is when you have like a off-road type of vehicle. And I just don't think it looks pretty good at all. Looking at the X7 though, I think this definitely is a lot better looking. I definitely like this little piece here to kind of break up the body. Also like this crease right here that's not really that noticeable, but it's definitely there and adds some character to the side of the car. I think that looks definitely pretty good. Also looking at these wheels, I do kind of like the wheels on both cars. Wrong brush. I like these wheels here and these here. I think they kind of remind me of each other. I can't exactly say why. Maybe because they both have a lot of flat design here, like here and then here. They kind of remind me of each other, but I definitely like the wheels on both. I kind of like the wheels on the X7 more though. Also, another thing that I think is not a big deal, but this XM doesn't even have the Hofmeister, whatever it's called, kink here, like most BMW should have. So it's like that just kind of goes to show even how much further BMW is just like moving away from everything that it stands for after having something on your cars for so long and then just abandoning it to make an ugly ass car like this. It's just crazy. Moving to the back again, it gets not much better for the XM. The only thing I do kind of like, even though I don't like it that much, I think it just looks kind of interesting, is this back window and how it kind of like it's like almost seamless. Like it has no, I don't know, like any type of border to it. It's just kind of there. I think that looks kind of cool, but then I can't really appreciate this, like that, what I'm talking about, because directly under that is like this whole thing right here. And I don't know why they made this rear part like bulging out like that. I think it kind of looks like those whales. And like I don't think when you talk about car design, I don't think a whale is kind of what you want to go for. I do like these tail lights a bit. It's another thing kind of like in the back, pretty sleek. But then again, like it doesn't really feel like this tail light ties into anything else. Like I want to draw lines on cars and kind of look at all the line flow and how that connects. But looking at these, it's like nothing connects to anything. Like this, maybe this kind of connects down here to this reflector, or that might be a light. But then it's like it's just here, and then that's kind of where it ends. Versus other cars, you kind of have like something can be coming here, and then it would connect here, and then maybe like another line here, and it's like it's just no connection at any point. It's just like 50 different people designed the cars and just stuck everything, all their ideas together. But I guess the back might be the best part because I do like these tailpipes. Think those look pretty good, but everything put together just doesn't really, as a car, as a whole, the whole thing just doesn't really come together. I do like, this is my favorite view of the X7 though. Kind of like I was saying, I think this kind of has some of those qualities. I definitely like this bar here. It's not even a light bar, and I kind of appreciate that because I don't think every car in the world needs to have a light bar. But I do think that this just overall looks better. I don't love it, but I do think it definitely looks a lot better than the XM up here. But overall, not really a big fan of either one of these cars, truthfully, but especially not this. Like I really just wanted to talk about how ugly this is, and that's pretty much it. This line here, I kind of like this a bit, kind of a clean line there, and kind of looking back at the side again, like this whole thing is it's just hideous. But we can move on inside, I guess. So onto the interior again. Things don't really get much better, and it's definitely a good looking interior, but like so is pretty much any BMW. But the problem that I have is that you really wouldn't be able to tell which one of these is the XM versus the X7. And I think as ugly as I think the X7 is, this is the X7 interior up here. As ugly as I think it is, I think if you have an exterior that has such ambitious design, I guess would be the nicest word I can say. I think you need an interior that kind of matches that. And this is a nice interior, but it doesn't really have the occasion that should kind of connect with the exterior of the car. You have such a out of the ordinary exterior. I think you need to have an interior that kind of matches that same level of presence that you have. Even if I think it's ugly, I think you still need that same connection. So not really much to kind of draw on this, but I think the main issue that I have is that they look exactly the same. Like here, this maybe is a bit different from here to here. If you can zoom out a bit, maybe this here, but even here with this difference in the dashboard, truthfully, I like this dashboard down here more than the one that's up here. Even though the XM is the one that's supposed to be the higher level vehicle, I think the interior on the X7 looks a bit better. Even though they look pretty much the same, if I had to pick one, I'd pick the X7. So it's like that's just another shortfall of the XM in my opinion. Yeah, so overall, obviously, I don't like the XM. I don't really care for the X7 that much either. I think the main thing is these headlights. I think they should just kind of go back to regular headlights and maybe stop trying to be like Genesis. Stick to what you know. But yeah, overall, I think this is just completely ugly. And it's like BMW is just kind of going in too many different directions. They kind of just need to stick with what they know. So this pretty much just a rant about why I think this truck is so ugly. But if you like it, I love it. If you want to go and buy one and you can afford one, go ahead. And I definitely love to look at these on the street because they definitely are interesting looking trucks, but just not, I think, very well designed. So hopefully BMW gets it together and maybe kind of goes back into this direction, which is more so in line with what they know. But appreciate you if you're still watching. Be smooth, stay safe, be blessed.